Hey, yo, Denji at the end of this chapter was only focused on one thing, the buns.
Is to go even further beyond.
What's up, y'all? We back at it with another chapter of Chainsaw Man, chapter 211, man. And so we have it where we find out the true intentions of Yoru and what she has in store for the world. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a little crazy. Her plan is a little out of pocket, and I could see why Asa was worried and why she actually told Denji what she has in store is something unlike anything you've ever seen or witnessed before. So I can understand why Asa said that. But we have it where, we got the real Death Devil talking to Denji, and she wants to be called Little D. I don't know if I could do that, man. That's a horrible name. Of all the nicknames you could have gave the Death Devil, you chose Little D? Like that's a serious pause moment. Maybe it's just me, man. Maybe I'm just sensitive. I don't know, but I don't know, man. It's crazy. But Denji in this chapter, he does what Denji does best. He gets distracted. Well, we about to get right into it, man. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications, man. Let's get into it. So we have it where Denji wakes up in the school, and it's crazy. When we got this at the end of the last chapter, I was thinking this was more so like his inner thoughts, but no, he's really at the location of a school, and it seems as if, the Death Devil as well as the Famine Devil brought Denji here, so that they could talk to him. So you have it where the Death Devil explains like, yo, that's the true famine, and I'm not the Famine Devil, I'm the Death Devil. That's why I want you to call me my nickname, Little D. And then you have it where even Denji himself is looking like, ugh, Little D, are you for real right now? Like he's thinking to himself, like, I don't want to call you that shit, man. I don't want to do it. But she was like, yo, I'm for real. And then you have it where Denji's like, well, what happened to Asa and what happened to Yoru? So he does realize that it's two individuals, and he does seem to care about both of them. Hence that he asks where both of them were, as opposed to just asking for one or another. Now, I would have liked more for him to just ask for Asa to show that he truly cares for her personality the most. But I do like the idea that he did ask for both. But you have it where Little D goes to explain the surging of nuclear weapons that has dropped in the Soviet Union is a result to the War Devil gaining much more power than even Little D anticipated. And you got it where Denji's asking like, yo, she's alive? Where is she? Of course, Little D says, I don't know, but I know one thing. She's going around and killing all of the devil hunters and gathering a devil army. So she's trying to have all the devils on her side. And if they do join her, that means she could potentially have all types of weapons, because she will form a bond and relationship with these guys. And the stronger her bond, the more powerful a weapon she can create. And it seems like that is part of her plan as well. Then you have it where Little D goes to explain, saying like, yo, when she finds you, she'll turn you into a weapon she'll use to erase me. And then you have it where Denji doesn't sound, like he's bothered about that. And he goes to say, that sounds dangerous for us. Wait, so if you're the Death Devil, what happens if death gets erased? And you can tell that I'm not the brightest either, because when she gives her answer, I'm just like Denji. She says like, yo, living beings will cease to die from any and all phenomenons, old age, illness, fatal injuries, you name it. And then Denji goes to say, wouldn't that be like awesome for everybody besides us? And that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like Denji, and she was like, no, it's a nightmare scenario. And then Denji says, why is that? She says, a world without death is War Devil's goal. That's what Yoru is after. War Devil is trying to start a never-ending World War II. And then you have it, undying humans in all parts of the world hating and hurting each other for eternity. That's War Devil's dream. And I never really thought about that. Like, yo, if people knew they couldn't die, there would be no risk in any dangerous or bad activities that they choose to do. I never even considered that. And I guess you can see I was just as naive as Denji. The fact that could happen, man, the world would be crazy right now. Not only that, I feel like the world would get overpopulated just with, people being born, babies being born, and then people not dying. So there's no new space for those babies to take. So I could feel like that could happen as well. But that's actually a pretty brilliant plan for Yoru. But you have it where, Little D goes and says, originally my powers were supposed to activate and wipe out mankind. My many efforts to stop that prophecy changed the future into an even worse one. So she was supposed to wipe out mankind. She chose not to. And we know the reason she chose not to. She liked to eat the food. She liked the human world. She enjoyed it. So that's the real reason she chose not to. So then you have it where Denji says, hold up, your story is too much of a stretch. Also, I'm supposed to believe you're the death devil. Yeah, right. Aren't you just a clingy, weird girl? And then, you have a voice come out of nowhere saying like, yo, she's really a devil, dude. And it's the guy, I can't think of his name, but it's the guy from earlier. And Denji says the same thing, like, yo, it's some guy I've seen before. Yeah, you could say that. He's just some guy you've seen before. He was in Chainsaw Man Part 1, as well as the beginning, or the mid part of Part 2. And you have it where, this guy goes to say, at this rate, the war devil is going to show up before Denji's done playing catch up. Hey, yo, I bet if you show him your belly, he'll realize that you are the death devil. And you have it where she lifts up her blouse again, and Denji's face is crazy. Like, it's so hilarious. Like, he has this look like, like, he's not even looking at the hole in her stomach. He's looking straight at the thighs and the underwear. Like, yo, and then you have it where this guy's like, yo, Denji, you get it now, right? She's a devil, and the war devil will be here soon. And Denji's like steady staring at her body, her shape. And you got this guy saying like, yo, if you don't get with the program, we're all screwed. You need to trust us. And Denji's like still staring at her body. And he's just like I don't know why. That shit was hilarious as hell. And then you just got it where Denji's still looking at her body. He's like, I trust you. That shit was hilarious as hell, man. Like, yo, that's crazy, man. But all in all, man, it was a really good chapter, man, from start to finish. But really, it was just an informative chapter. It was just letting us know the plan of Yoru. And like I said, that plan is kind of crazy. To have the Death Devil be destroyed, to eliminate death from the world, so that the world will be a never-ending war, because humans are prone to destruction. Like, that's all we pretty much know. Not everybody, but you could go through history and see the bad stuff that mankind has done to one another. And the fact that she's trying to do that to make an everlasting war, she will be the strongest devil ever, if that's the case, if that is to happen. But I'm curious what choices Denji is going to make, because I feel like he might want to stop Yoru, but he doesn't want to harm Asa. And then at the same time, he might have feelings, just as strong as feelings for Yoru as he does for Asa. But the real thing is, can Yoru change Denji into a weapon? Even though she says she doesn't have feelings for him, it really was for war, for the nukes. But is it a chance that she could have been lying to herself and she truly does have feelings for Denji? That's something we're going to have to wait and see in the future chapters. But let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.